We're here today to honor Gene Franklin on the Larry Bowling Award. Now, you might ask, who is Larry Bowling? He was a person who had a very nice way with people. He was able to work with department heads. He was able to work with individual county office holders, county employees, and county commissioners. For professional employees in local government, whether it's school districts, whether it's municipalities, whether it is the county government, bowling awardees have come from each of those categories. The committee of the chamber that selects the bowling awardee is Jim McErlane, Gary Brown, Kathy Pierce, and Steve Ross. Myself as chairman. We all knew Larry, and we all respected and admired him. And when he was taken from us at the young age of 48, we decided we wanted to do something to keep his memory alive. And so we have done that, and thanks to the chamber very much. Rob, Nancy, Guy, all have been very supportive of the Bowling Award. Let's talk about our recipient, Gene Franklin. She is a consummate professional in the public health field. Gene is really the epitome of the government professional who can assist the public policymakers and direct the actions necessary. I do want to just take a second to recognize two important people who are here with her today. Christopher and Allison, could you stand up? Also, she has two brothers who are here. Richard, and I'll tell you something funny about Richard. He came here from Michigan last night and surprised Jean when she came today. Richard? And John, he didn't come as far. He just came from Phoenix. It's a great honor for me to be able to chair the bowling committee and to be here today with you and to talk about him and what he did and how we recognize the person who exemplifies what Larry Bowling did. Professional, knowledgeable, sensitive, able to run a large, complex department and deal with a big public problem. I ask Gene Franklin to come and receive the award.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So I was completely surprised when Earl called me maybe about a week or so ago to say I had been selected. And I've been thinking, what is excellence? You know, excellence is something that's modeled. It's something that you learn. It's something that you practice. And for me, excellence is rooted in three things. First and foremost, family. And you've met some of my family. I'm not sure everyone knows, but I come from a big family. How many? I am one of 17 children, same parents, one marriage. So you can imagine what we learn in our small community of a family. We learn how to manage resources. There was only 2 bathrooms in the house and only 1 full bath. But we also learn to work together, to recognize each other's individuality. And that has stuck with me. And, I remember my father saying, never pressing for excellence. He just said, listen, if you're going to be a ditch digger, be the best damn ditch digger. And then my mom would always say, be kind, be sweet. So that's what I'm rooted in family. And you kindly, Earl has introduced my family here. It's actually Joe and Katie who took me in because I did my internship at the health department here in Chester County. And they let me live with them because I was only the 3rd person to leave Michigan from my family. And I had to reassure my mom I was not going to be the public health person handing out condoms in the corners of Chester County. And I was in the care of my older brother, Joe. So I got to fly the coop, stayed here for 3 years, left to go to Atlanta, worked in lots of local health departments, worked for Centers for Disease Control, but really, my biggest move was coming back here to Chester County. It was a regrouping with local public health, and it was a regrouping with my family. So it is here that I get to see public health in action. And the second thing that grounds me in excellence is those in public health who surround me. And I have 3 staff members, Mary, Mike, and Matt over there, joining me today, but there's over 100 other staff members at the health department. So I am recognized for excellence because I'm surrounded by excellence in them. And they make everyone feel and operate with excellence.
Let's give them a hand, too.
Yes. And lastly, it's what's in me, because in a family of 17, there's dentists and lots of engineers and an art historian and nurses, etc. Public what, Gene? Public health. What is that? I'll show you. You're going to work for the government? Oh, Gene, really? I said, oh, no. I'm going to work for the government, and I'm not going to be that government person. So that's really what grounds me. And I'm here today because I get the wonderful support of our 3 commissioners who trust me in running your health department, and I appreciate that. While I've always said COVID was Public Health Super Bowl, we happen to be playing the halftime show, but we are darn glad the post-game stats are wrapping up. So we've learned as a county amazing things we always knew about ourselves, but it really came out during this past couple years. So I am only one of the leaders that got us through this. Certainly not the only. So I applaud all of those, particularly those in the room who were courageous enough to look out for Chester County, to keep your businesses running, because that helped us get back to where we are today. So I appreciate it. I am thrilled and cannot imagine the bar that Larry has set for all of us in his company. So thank you and enjoy the event.
It's my pleasure to introduce the managing director, managing partner of Landmarker Lane, and a former board chair, Mr. Joel Frank.
Thank you, Dave. Good morning, everyone. So again, my name's Joel Frank, and the firm appreciates the opportunity to go ahead and serve as the commissioner sponsor at this morning's breakfast. Our firm has a long-standing relationship with the Chamber. In fact, one of our founding partners, Jim McElwain, who's with us today, actually had an integral role in forming the Chamber back in the day. Then it served on the Chamber board for a period of time. Jim went ahead, was followed by Bill, now Judge Mann, and then I had, as Dave alluded to, the honor of serving on the board for probably 14 years, plus or minus, having served as the chair of the board from 2013 through 2015. As we all know, our Board of Commissioners has done a tremendous job in leading our county, and I'm thankful for your efforts. It's now my pleasure to turn the program back over to our board chair, Dave Hackett. Thank you.
Thanks so much. You know, as the Chester County Chamber, we pride ourselves on being the advocate for the business community, and that really came through in the pandemic. And we'll continue to do that and look forward to coming out of this pandemic and continuing to be an advocate for good policies that support our business community so that we continue to make sure that Chester County is a great place to have a business and to raise a family. We look forward to that. And now it's my pleasure to introduce Matt O'Donnell, who's going to be our Master of Ceremonies for tonight. And I want to thank Chris Perillo from RKL Consulting, who helped make this event possible with Matt being here. As you know, Matt is the co-host of Channel 6's morning show and also hosts Inside Story on Sunday mornings. He's part of the Hackett family routine every morning, and he does a great job of, they have a family atmosphere and make you feel a part of their family in the morning, and he does so with delivering the news with great aplomb and a great sense of humor. And it's my pleasure to welcome Matt O'Donnell to the stage and for the commissioners to take their seats.
Good morning, everyone. I'm a morning guy, so I was all in when I was invited to this. Chris, of course, gave me a call. Chris and I are good friends from the old neighborhood. He has a great wife, Megan, 3 children, 2 of which are in college, 1 possibly on the way. He's taking donations at the door. So, yeah. When are the tee times, by the way? You guys are golfing today, right? Another wonderful spring day in Chester County. I've lived in Chester County for more than 30 years now, and it's a great place to live. I wouldn't live anywhere else, but the weather, quite frankly, in the late winter, early spring is kind of stinky. I mean, it really does stink. But tomorrow it's going to be really warm. Then we're going to get super high winds and thunderstorms. So. And I know this because they give the forecast 50 times a day during the morning. I'm not a meteorologist. I'd like to welcome back our commissioners, Marian Moskowitz, the chair. Hello again. Josh Maxwell, vice chair, and Michele Kichline, also a commissioner. Thanks. We're going to do some questions, if you don't mind. And why don't we start with a biggie, Tower Health. And why don't I pose this to Chairwoman Moskowitz. As you know, the deal fell through. We have these 2 buildings sitting there, and there's a great need for health care in the region. People are traveling longer distances to get it. So I guess maybe to open this up, could these buildings once again open up as hospitals? Could we see something like, say, up in the Lehigh Valley, where St. Luke's is opening up regional hospitals, building new buildings? And in the meantime, Chairwoman, what are you doing to try and help people get that access to health care that they've enjoyed while these hospitals were open?
So first of all, Tower is its own entity, and Canyon and Tower had a deal that ultimately, at the end of the day, fell apart. That's Tower's discussion to have with you, not mine. But we have been searching and taking calls and fielding calls from different hospitals, different organizations throughout the country who are interested in coming here. I think we have an excellent chance of reopening those facilities. Certainly that is a priority for the commissioners and the county as a whole. We cannot have a third of our county and landmass without medical facilities. It's just ridiculous. So we are working vigorously. We believe that something good is going to happen. And I can't really go into much detail, unfortunately, but I will just share with you that we are working with some entities that we believe will be viable. And as you know, the county has a consultant on board, and we brought them in the event that someone who was interested in opening medical facility, emergency care, behavioral health, came to the county for funds. We would do our investigation to make sure that they were viable and they were worthy of anything that came into Chester County. So I think things are moving. It's going to take a little time, but hang tight.
Would either of the other commissioners want to add anything to this, since it's such a big story here?
I just wanted to add, behavioral health is one of the largest problems that we're facing since the pandemic. The lack of, there's been an increase in anxiety, depression, drug use, alcoholism, and the closing of this facility has taken the sole source of behavioral health beds out of Chester County. At this point, Bryn Mawr Hospital has opened up a new wing, but that certainly is not close or accessible to the part of Chester County that was served by Brandywine. So I know the 3 of us are very committed to working with healthcare providers, existing healthcare providers, to address that critical need and to make sure that whatever opens up is going to have behavioral health facilities.
So we've had the opportunity to, after becoming experts in public health, thanks to Director Franklin, pivot over to learning about hospitals and how they operate and the economics of them. And we're lucky to have a lot of people to get advice from Penn and Mainline Health, some really good operators in the Philadelphia area that we're chatting with to make sure that we're going in the right direction as a county, to make sure that we have viable hospitals, not just 5 years from now, but 25 years from now in the western and southern part of Chester County. One thing to point out, or one thing that we've learned, is it takes about a year for a hospital to transfer. You probably read the newspaper, Delaware County hospitals are been purchased by Christiana. And that's going to take about a year to transfer all that data, all that information, all those computer systems over to a new hospital. Tower Health ended their agreement with Canyon Atlantic in December, about a month, or maybe November, about a month before they closed. Not enough time to get a new operator into those hospitals. But we have about a year. It's going to take about a year to make sure that we have something there viable moving forward. We're collecting data from the community through the Alliance for Health Equity out of Coatesville to make sure that we understand the health needs of the community and the health wants in that community. So when we bring in a new hospital system, it's something that the community gets value from moving forward. So this is what we're working on. It was COVID last year. It's hospitals this year. And we're committed to making sure that we have viable hospitals, not just in the short term, but in long term, and have better, we're backfilling with better services than we had previously.
Thanks to all three. And I guess the headline here is an excellent chance of reopening, so we'll definitely keep an eye on this.
It has been a very difficult road getting to this point. I mean, I say that Josh and I came in with COVID. That was our partner coming in. It's been a very difficult ride for everybody in this county and across the nation, across the world. But we are so resilient, right? We're all here today, no masks, as somebody said, and we're ready to rock and roll. We're going to build our economy back. We're going to get people here that want to work. We're going to grow in population. And we're going to keep our open space and our infrastructure going. And that's critical to everything we do. The university, I'm on the board of the university. I'm very proud of Westchester. They are thriving as the best system in the state. We should be very proud that they are right in Westchester. I'm so proud. Thank you, Chris. But there's so many good things going on. And, you know, talking about transportation, we are all involved in transportation. Michelle's on the Greater Valley Forge Transportation Association. Josh is on TMAC. I just went on SEPTA. So we are working to bring transportation here, which we need so desperately. So stay tuned. We're working as hard as we can to bring those options to Chester County. I thank you for your resiliency. It's been difficult. And I'm looking forward to going forward to the future. I think it'll be bright. So thank you.
To Marian's point, I remember when Josh and Marian started, we handed them a briefing book that was this thick. On March 13th, I told them just to throw it in the garbage can because it was... You know, as I guess Joel mentioned, I'm the dean. I've been, here longer than they have. But the last 2 years has been like nothing I have ever experienced in government. It really has been a learning experience. And I will tell you, even though we're all in person, I know I've seen each and every one of your faces on Zoom calls for the last 2 years. This business community in Chester County has stood together, has been strong, has been dynamic, and I know because of your strength that as we come out of all of this, we will not only thrive, we will improve. I really do think, from the comments that you heard, we have the infrastructure here, we have the plans for the future. I think the center of business is going to be shifting to the counties. Philadelphia will always be Philadelphia, but I think we have opportunities here, and I want to assure you that the three of us have the plans, have the resources, and we are going to be here to support you, and we thank you for coming out today, and it's so great to see all of you again.
I just want to say thank you. I know everyone has to run back to the office and grab lunch soon after. This is one of my first Chester County Chamber of Business and Industry events. It's an honor to be with you. It's a core value of mine to listen and to hear what people in the community and specifically the business community have to say. And I want you to know that your input is welcome with me. You have a partner in moving Chester County forward, growing our economy here in Chester County, and accomplishing the things that are going to make Chester County better for all of us, whether it be residents or businesses. So please call on me if you have suggestions or you want to talk. I look forward to chatting with you as a partner and really appreciate the opportunity to address you here today.
I just want to thank all the commissioners here. Thank you for answering all my questions. And I just want to thank you. This was the first forum I've hosted of this kind since the pandemic began. And quite honestly, it was nice because I love to see people's faces, the warmth of a room, and we're social creatures. And I'm glad that we're back at this again. So thank you so much.
Thank you.